Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. We are WRME Live, episode 44. Man.
44? I thought we were on 43. Are we ahead or am I
Whoops.
behind?
No, I believe
Hold
it's
on.
episode 44, but that's all right. Man, it's a blustery, what did we
is.
say, blustery? No, chilly, I guess. 33 degrees on the river this morning. It was great.
Oh, no way.
Going to be a nice, clear day.
Nice and warm. I'm excited about the warm weather.
And happy Good Friday to everybody. And we've got,
We are.
Easter weekend this weekend.
Yes.
Most of our open houses will not be happening this weekend. We like to take Easter off. Everybody needs to spend as much time as they can with their families.
Yes.
I was at a deal the other night with Senator James Lankford.
Langford, yes.
And somebody said, what can we do out here, to help as far as politics and everything that's going on? He goes, just take care of your families. The number one issue in this country, take care of your families.
Yes.
And I think that is so awesome, for him to speak out like that. Okay.
It's important. So many people get busy. They don't think about it.
I've got to go to Henrietta, buy a new pair of overalls. I do not have my Easter overalls.
Oh, no.
They burn up in the house. I forgot. It's terrible. I always put on my best overalls on Easter Sunday. Okay. It looks like it's going to be cold this Easter, too.
So
Actually, it might even freeze on Saturday night, which is kind of uncommon for around here.
So if you're planning an outdoor Easter egg hunt for the kiddos, you might want to
wear the coat.
rethink it.
Yep.
That's what he said, Christine. Easter overalls.
Hey, you got to wear your good clothes on Easter Sunday. That's just the way it works, right? Don't you dress up? Doesn't everybody dress up their little kids in their neat little outfits and all this stuff for Easter?
He just wears jeans and t-shirt. I have a teenager.
Oh, okay. One of the things we're going to discuss today is coordinating your team. And that's part of what we do as realtors in this business is help to coordinate all the different people that it takes to get your deal done, okay?
It just can be a lot.
We do real estate. That is our job. We're not attorneys. We're not CPAs. We're not mortgage people, okay? We can connect you with those professionals, and we can help coordinate all of those. We've got one of the first ones we're going to connect you with is a good mortgage person. And the mortgage person can answer your questions on interest rates, what's the best mortgage for you in your situation, and don't just assume that everybody's going to go FHA. A lot of times it just does not work that way.
Or they don't realize the options for conventional.
Right.
Or
And
what else is available for them that might suit them a little better.
I was working with a couple from moving here from California, and they were already in the process of cashing out some of their stuff in their 401k to buy what they wanted without having to juggle a bunch of stuff.
Right.
And I said, no. And they're like 59 and a half years, 60 years old. And I said, well, you really need to talk with your tax professional on that.
Yes.
And they said, well, our investment account guy said, yeah, we can just take this out. I said, well, ask them what it's going to cost you and talk to a CPA or something like that. And they called me back and said, oh my gosh, it's going to cost them 49% by the time the taxes and penalties and everything else. They said, we can't afford to do that.
No.
So they're moving here and they're going to rent for a year while they're getting everything coordinated.
I had this.
And they thanked me like a dozen times because they thought they just called their 401 guy and he says, yeah, sure, no problem, fill out this form and you take it out. He did not tell them that you're going to lose this much money.
Right. And it's not just a little bit. Because I had the same thing happen. We went ahead and did the cash offer. She clearly had the funds, retired. And we kind of did the same thing. Her son and I was like, are you sure? And ended up talking to the bank. And again, taxes and penalties and everything. It was going to cost her more to pay cash for the house than to do a conventional loan, which she was more than qualified for.
Right, exactly. But, they did not want to do a mortgage. And, of course, they were told the only way they could do something was through the VA because one of them's a vet. You don't have to do a VA loan if you're a vet. I mean, it's advantageous most of the time, not all the time. But you got to talk to the professionals that know about that particular part of this transaction. It may be the CPA. Maybe you're having life issues or something. You may have a lawyer involved. There's, the court may have to say. There's so many things, and we help coordinate that, and that is part of our job. But understand, we are not the attorneys. We are not the CPAs. But we certainly want to make sure that we're all on the same page. We're all communicating effectively to make sure your deal is the best possible deal for you. In today's day and age, I don't think you can afford to leave any money on the table. No. You just can't. Time, we're all stretched for time. There's just not enough time to do everything that our busy lives expect us to do. Just crazy.
And the other thing, too, with us coordinating, don't be afraid to ask a question. Don't be afraid to question, anything if you're not sure.
Right.
Or you're just...
And remember, everything's confidential. It's just like dealing with your attorney. Your attorney, if something needs to be told to us, he's going to make sure that you authorize that. Mm-hmm. They're just not going to give us this information. That's same with your finance professional. But once, especially if you've got a group or a team that we're working with, if everything's symbiotic and everything's flowing good, the stress on the buyer or the seller is reduced, I would say 75-80%. Life stressful enough without all the crap that can be stirred up or messed up by not, planning things and coordinating things. What else we got going today?
Oh my goodness, I think we're just all excited about the warm weather before the cold weekend.
I am, for sure. My wife's going to get more chickens today. She's turned into a chicken lady. We have no chickens in the motorhome, but, she's just fell in love with chickens. It's funny. All right, well, enough about chickens. If you guys have questions, email us, wrme@mainedge.com. Once again, we're Weichert Realtors, Main Edge in Mustang, Oklahoma. If
y'all want us to talk about something,
give us some topics.
Something you want to know more about, or you're not sure about anything, we're good. We'll get on here one Friday and chat about it.
Yep.
And I'm sure if you have a question, somebody else probably is curious about it, because we're not mind readers.
There are no stupid questions in this. There really are not. It's funny. Every day I seem to run into a different question that we've never really seen before.
Right.
And we have to go research and do some things. That's one of the funnest things about real estate is you are learning every day, every transaction, every deal. I've been in this 8 years, and it's just amazing how much more you can learn. And things change constantly.
Yes, they do.
And you got a good agent is going to stay up on the latest rules, regulations, tools, applications.
And if they're not sure, like I've been asked some questions like, oh, wow, okay, hold on, let me check on that. We're going to find out.
Yeah. It's frustrating to see somebody try to BS their way through something.
Because, like Carl said, stuff changes so fast and quick in real estate that no matter how much we try to stay on top of everything, sometimes something changes and we're not quite knowledgeable enough on it yet. So we got to ask ourselves or do research.
Yep. But we're pretty good at that stuff. We do it every day. All right. Well, I think we're going to bug out for now. We're WRME Live, Main Edge, Mustang, Oklahoma, where we do real life, real world real estate every day. Come and see us. Bye-bye.
Bye.